Hello, what's happening, everybody? Hope you're having a beautiful and amazing day. So very happy to be here for our 26th day of fragMas. Thank you all for the amazing time over the past couple of days. We're going to kick it off some Brotato today. Before we get started, they're going to call the fun people here in chat and your wonderful support. Xena Reflex, thanks for 23 months. Ape Stomp, thanks for 105. What's up, John? Pinball Box, Imtala, Kazune, Ties Forsaken, Wintakis. Hey there, Tower, Casually Challenged, Beef Jerky Yum. There, Luna, Sparky. It's good, Antelope 13, and all the rest. Alright, so we're working on Danger 5 right now in Brotato. We're working on getting the top row finished. I think I'm going to work on bottom row. Let's get back into Generalist. I'm going to start with Submachine Gun again. Let's start with a range. Okay, attack speed seems yes, but I need weapons too. Let's try a crossbow here. Let's do another roll. Alright, slingshot, flank, explosion damage. Okay, let's just go for it. Alright, let's take a little luck here. This character has to have a diversified between range and melee damage. Definitely an interesting effect. Also receives proportional bonuses to melee and range damage for taking melee or range damage, so that's quite good. 8% damage, fine. Slingshot, I'm in. Explosion damage, I'm in. Definitely want this armor as well. Let's roll. Scissors would be a good melee weapon. I accept. Engineering affects turrets and other engineering items, like medical turret, Tyler, etc. Landmines also affected by engineering. Okay, a little more range. I'm gonna take luck here. Okay, scissors. I will take one cute monkey. And why not? Beef dagger. It's not the item I want, but I can replace it later. At least our hands are full. Whoop. Definitely take that for free. Ooh, luck too. Okay, attack speed. Shield's actually a pretty nice item here. Let's drop plank 1 for spiky shield. I'm gonna lock in scope as well, because 2 range damage is 4 melee damage on this character. Oh yeah, shield's pretty good. Get that nice, nice bash and pretty nice area effect. I'm gonna take more luck. Okay, 4 melee damage. Take another cute monkey. I know this is minus damage, but it is healing. Okay, more coffee. Awesome. For our attack speed right now, 23. Not bad, not bad. Good old wave 7. All right. 3 armor sounds awesome. I think I'm going to take Alien Tongue here. Potato Thrower. Let's roll. Okay, these all look good. Let's go a little muscly dude. Let's lock in glasses and bat. Yeah, Cacti Club is a great item for generalists, no doubt. All right, we're looking pretty good for Wave 9, it feels like. Definitely not bad. Oh, okay then. That's fair. New run. You know what? I'm going to start with the spear. A little harvesting sounds good. Okay, another spear. You know, I'm just going to buy a hatchet as well. Let's roll. All right, spears for days and coffee. Spear is just such a good weapon. Alright, I'll take 6 dodge then. Okay. I'd rather replace for something that's not hatchet, though. Let's just roll again. Alright, no range weapons yet. Fair enough. Hatchet's definitely not a bad weapon, but it doesn't scale very well later game, the way some others do. It's a very short attack range. At least spear is a little bit more of a ranged weapon. I'm going to take the luck here. Okay, 9 dodge. Trees die in 1 hit bag. Oh, this is really good stuff. Okay, this counts as ranged. I'll take that. Let's take the Scar as well and lock both of these. Okay, we have Horde Wave on 12 and 14 on this run. That's cool. The Horde Wave's generally better than Elite if you can't kill the Elite because you get extra materials for the Horde Wave. Re-engineering, sure. I'm gonna take some move speed here. Ooh, another spear, nice. You know what? 1 propeller hat, I'm down. Let's do a roll here too. Knockback, yep. What are you doing over there, Daisy? Being a kidder? That's nice. That's nice. I got distracted by my cat. That's fair. Let's load up a Ghost Axe start here. It's something to do. I think Ghost Axe, when offered, is one of the better starting items. Because you're getting damage ups for free. This character can probably work with less ethereal too, since you get the bonus damage, so less combining of weapons is fine. Alright, little luck. Okay, another axe. I'm gonna combine these though. I want to get the range, but it's not right at the moment. Okay, another one. Yo, Phoenix Rising, thanks for 30 months. Appreciate you keeping it dapper. Thank you. You have 1 stream for every day of the month remaining, and then our bonus time kicks off. It's looking like about at least a week more of fragMas this year. Probably a lot more than that. Already at 46, 47 hours, something like that. It's wild. These are actually the same stat for the purposes of this run. You know what? I'm going to lock it all. Let's go. Chip Chapman, reporting for duty. I think the ethereal staff gonna need at least an upgrade or some more range damage to pop off here. But if we get this going early enough, it will be a considerable amount of HP. Take some luck. Gonna take some harvesting. You know what? Medical gun sounds like a pretty good one. Ooh, taser too. I want that. Spear as well is a very nice melee weapon. Let's just leave it at taser, get our hands full. Yes, it does track the stats on them for the total, and if you combine them, it combines the two totals together, so you can see how many stats you've gained off the ethereal weapons. The stat tracking does not carry over in between waves, but the stat gained during the wave is permanent. Currently playing as... Ooh, nice. Currently playing as generalist, excuse me. I'm gonna recycle this and take taser. I do like medical gun, but still. Ooh, rocket launcher 2. Something. Projectile piercing is probably really good for the ethereal wand. I'm going to pass on rocket launcher here. I like rocket launcher. I think it's a very good weapon, but... Yeah, you're going to start each wave at the 0 amount unspun reality. Sure on that one. Okay, I'm going to take this because I think the piercing damage is relevant here. Let's take some HP regen 2. I'm going to take 6 melee damage, get some range damage. Okay, awesome. Got this combined. Attack speed, amazing. Okay, let's try bandana here, and I want to see the tooltip now. Okay, yeah, so it was minus 50% damage. Now it's minus 35, so that's good. I also think since we're getting piercing on... the scepters, we should be getting more HP ups on average. Like, 1 piercing is not a small deal. Also very good for the taser, because the taser does a slowing field, so the projectiles piercing through targets really powerful. Has gained 4 HP this wave off of the scepters. Hell yeah. Go for more damage then. Okay, bag, yes. Metal, regeneration. I think anything defensive right now I should be taking. Just melee damage. I don't know about that. Bowler hat. I'm gonna take it. That's a nice item. Not exactly defensive, but it's good. Okay, 3 armor sounds good. We're at -3 right now. It's a bit intense. Okay, bowler hat, yes. Let's do a roll here. I think I want more enemies at the moment. Gonna leave that as is. Oh no. Good. Ooh, that was close. Let's take some lifesteal. Let's take some armor. Okay, Vigilante ring wave 10, awesome. Little muscly dude, awesome as well. Alright, Ghost Scepter 2, yes. Torch 3, maybe not. Let's take Hedgehog though. I think Banner is also workable here. Yeah, the extra piercing with the bandana with the scepters is doing a really nice effect of gaining a lot of HP. No guarantee, but pretty nice run so far. I'm going to take a look at the weapons after this to see what our stats are actually at gained. Crit chance minus range damage. No. Let's go for 3 lifesteal here. Start building some sort of resource. 11 here, so I've gained 23 HP so far between the 2 scepters. That's nice. Okay, no Ghost Flint here. Shredder 3, though. Yeah, Shredder 3 is pretty good. Sword's also pretty good. Plus melee damage and XP, alright. I'm gonna roll here, we can do better. Alright, armor, yes. That was an awesome wave. I enjoyed that one a lot. Alright, 3 more armor. Beautiful. 9. We don't need max HP. Let's just take dodge. Wow, handcuffs are like pretty ridiculous on this character, but not the time for them. Attack speed, yes. Okay, there we go. I think a Blood Leech. I think any kind of defense here is looking good. HP for damage. Fair enough. I'm going to say there's no way we're killing this elite. It's going to be going for clearing the wave. Whoa. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm gonna take this. 22 damage per bullet's a lot. I'm gonna need some range to back that up, but... there it is. Ghost Axe 3. Okay, let's combine here and get a Ghost Axe 3. I think I want to gain lifesteal, not lose it. Do one more roll. Power Fist 3, huh? That's pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, let's combine to Ghost Axe 4, and then we'll lock this. Okay, I goofed. Triangle of Power looking a little bit excessive right now. A little late for Bowler Hat, too, I think. Yeah, you're right. The extra projectile is piercing with the baby with the beard. Good point. We're getting a lot of connections. That makes me want to go into a lifesteal style defense. I think this build kind of falls apart without the taser right now. Alright, let's take armor. Okay, Power Fist. Okay, another Ghost Axe, sounds good. What's my speed at right now? 2. It's not very much. Alright, there we go. Taser 3 coming in. If I could get another, like, 10 lifesteal or so, I bet we'd be in a really good position here. Okay, managed to kill all the Eggy boys. That's good. Not going to worry about killing the boss here. Just going to worry about clearing the wave. Alright, move speed sounds good. Oh, Cacti Club 3. That's really nice. Okay, let's grab this. I'm going to grab Boxing Glove as well. I'm gonna lock Cacti Club and do a roll. Yeah, attack speed seems okay. I'm not even sure I want that, though. I'm at 35 attack speed right now, -2 armor. I guess at 10 armor, that's acceptable. Yo, Phoenix Rising, thanks for that 30 months if I did miss you earlier. My apologies. What a fun day it's been on stream. What an awesome fragMas so far. Okay, Daisy, I see. You can't have your toy right there. I get it. I tied a toy to her other toy and she's not amused. Because cats. Alien Eye's really good here. I'm gonna take this range as well. Alright, excuse me for just 1 second. I need to rescue my cat. Alright, my cat's been rescued. Let's buy some stuff here. Well, I think, Power Fist 4 sounds pretty good. Let's go ahead and drop... Let's drop Ghost Axe 3 now. It's done really good, but Cacti Club 3 is going to be a much better clearing item right now in small magazine. I'm going to skip on community support. We're already at 45 attack speed, and dropping armor does hurt. Well, okay, I'm going to lock it in. 1 community support. Yeah, Cacti Club was very much the right choice. Oh, we're not gaining stats off the purple Ghost Axe now. We are clearing enemies in huge swaths with the sweep on that. I think the next reasonable upgrade here would be to combine the scepters together and then pick up a real ranged weapon, whatever that may be. Man, that wave got handled, dude. Wow. Alright, I will take that. I think that's our 3rd monkey. Okay, piercing damage up as well. Hell yeah. Let's just take more armor here. I think the tankier we get, the better. Black belt, yes. Okay, HP, melee damage. Uh-huh. Alright, let's go. What's up, chef? Almost looks like I could maybe kill the chef here. I'm not even going to try, because he's going to get this new attack pattern. I'm going to get wrecked. I lied. I'm going to kill him. Very nice. Get a guaranteed legendary quality item from that. Potato! Great item. Okay, we don't have crit chance, so I'm just going to drop that. Let's take some... let's actually roll here. 60 range? Okay. No, 9 dodge. Flamethrower is fine, but nah. Okay, ooh, a little late for that. Let's take the snail. Can I please get some more lifesteal? Okay, this is plus lifesteal and worth it. Even with the plus enemies, that's still good. Okay, pumpkin. This will be our 3rd pumpkin, I think. Yeah, so there wouldn't even be damage down on those. Interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Oh man, my potato looks awesome right now. What a guy. I'm gonna take range damage here. Ooh, spear 3, huh? Let's take the consumable, save there. I'm gonna take this. The dodge seems nice. Cacti Club 4, hell yeah. This build got carried by that early bandana Ghost Scepter. Probably gained 40, 50 HP, I'd guess, at this point. Take 2 lifesteal. 51. Okay, never mind. I've gained 70 HP between the 2 Ghost Scepters. 70. I'm going to take the scope. Obliterator 3. That sounds like a great thing to buy before the boss. Let's drop Ghost Scepter 2 for Obliterator 3. $12,000 damage last wave? Wow. Where's the baby with the beard? How much damage has this thing done so far? 84,000 damage. Wow. Oh god. Daisy, you're out of control. The cat's having a heck right now. Oh, I'm not healing fast enough. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, spaghettis. Yep, didn't quite have the regeneration there. Similar what happened on my last generalist run that made it that far. I needed more HP regen or lifesteal. Lifesteal's a lot less effective on the final wave because there's not that many enemies spawned. Good attempt. Start with Cacti Club here. I'll start with the harvesting. Okay, Spear, Cacti Club, that's the kind of start I want. Okay, submachine gun's good too. Alright, free sausage, I'm in. Alright, another spear. Ghost Scepter was pretty strong last time. I think having one Ghost Scepter is a good call. Okay, let's lock all this in. Looks good. Yoho, Grozok TV, thanks so much for 23 months. And Sauce Hunter, thanks for the 5 gift sub package. Much appreciation. Thank you for all that generosity. Let me check the bonus time here real quick. What are we at right now? All snap, 46 hours, 57 minutes already. Dang. We do have one stream every day in the month of December remaining, all the way through the 31st. Then we kick off that bonus time with consecutive streams starting January 1st. Looking forward to that. Of course, have a little time off after that, per usual, and then right back into the swing of things for another year. Is gonna be good. Hey, Rook Doll, thanks for keeping it official with Prime 2. Cheers. Boom, 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 boom. Sounds like a plan, William. You keep watching, I'll keep streaming. We're doing it. The setup's clearing really efficiently. Okay, let's take 8 more harvesting. Let's take... I'm gonna take move speed here. Minigun 3 on wave 5? Excuse me? Yeah? Actually gonna hold the 75 to make sure we have that available next round. Minigun 3 though, awesome. Yeah, that 10 luck did a lot of work. I think that can happen with no luck. Just really fortunate find is what that is. Minigun's a pretty rare tier of weapon. Okay, so this is really strong because minigun gains damage, or does damage really fast. So these range damage increases we're going to get from taking melee damage are going to make this a real powerhouse. It's also a really nice lifesteal weapon. I'll take the range damage. I'm going to take one more harvesting. I feel like this builds off to a really strong start, so I'm going to take the alien here. Alright, I'm going to take this too. Take the range, we'll take the defective steroids. We'll also take the weird food. I feel like at this moment, if I can just gain harvesting and defensive stats, we're going to have a really nice run. Alright, let's start building dodge. This is a nice one. I'm going to take the 15 attack speed, I think. Alright, here we go. I'm actually scared to take Weird Ghost here, so I'm going to roll it. Okay, Ghost Scepter, upgrade, Spear upgrade. Awesome. Oh, yeah. I'm actually going to combine Cacti Clubs here, I think. Might as well take that too, that's a range damage. Yeah, I don't really have any other direct synergy outside of Sausage spell backwards, and while Snake's certainly fine, it is a minus HP, and I'm not planning on going into elemental weapons or other sources of fire. Certainly would have been bad though. Oh, hell yeah, I'll take that. Okay, 9 dodge. Circular Saw 3. I love Circular Saw. It's a great weapon. So I'll take that and then make this Cacti Club 3 then. I think I might drop the Ghost Scepter for the submachine gun because the 8 base damage on that is so good. Yeah, let's do that. Does this sell for enough? 15? No. Okay, I can take this. It's minus 3 range. Actually, this breaks even. There's no point in this item. Yeah, it's not. Doesn't do anything. They're basically even. The minus range damage becomes minus melee damage, and the plus melee damage becomes plus range damage. A little awkward. Alright, let's go ahead and take 2 more range damage here. I'm going to start taking some regeneration. I'm going to drop Ghost Scepter for Submachine Gun 2. I mean, Double Barrel Shotgun 2 is looking at 13 times 4 here. This is still better. Okay, range, submachine gun 2. Laser gun's a nope. 6 speed. I could take mutation. No. One more rolled in. Okay, -4 crit chance. It's not nothing. Okay, hedgehog, yes. Last roll for me. Okay, yes, lifesteal. That's what we want. Let's take cyberball too. Amazing weapon quality here. And this really is a good lifesteal build because I have 3 very fast-firing range weapons. So lifesteal is going to be doing a lot more work on this one than it is the previous ones. But listen here, you bready spaghetti kitty. If I created a monster by tying that plastic thing to your toy, oh man. fragMas is ruined because I've upset my cat. I need armor, max HP, and some other stuff, dude. Piercing would also be ridiculous right now. Bandana. Kelteron, the Cacti Club is quite good here because it is a weapon that creates projectiles when it hits stuff, so it capitalizes off of both melee and range damage, and this character receives bonuses to melee and range damage for those. So it's just a really nice weapon for this character specifically. 12 lifesteal. If I can just get dodge and max HP here, looking pretty good. Ow. That could easily kill me. Also, Cacti Club, generally speaking, is a very effective weapon in clearing groups because every single time it hits, it creates new projectiles. So if you get it swung into a large group of enemies, it just creates a massive ball of damage. It's a pretty solid weapon. Ooh, almost died. That is to say, I do like it on other characters too, but it's especially good here. Uh, 9 max HP, I kind of need that. Explosion size increase. I don't currently have explosions. Do I get any explosion item? No, I don't have any explosive items right now. Okay, I'm going to take this. It is minus HP, but it's plus dodge and armor, which I think works in our favor. One more roll. Range damage, yep. I'd say take trees die in one hit, but they're basically dying in one hit already. I'm going to take it because the Cacti Club projectiles can kill a tree in one hit with that. Not sure on that one, Roy Rocket. I don't think it says explosion anywhere, but I could be right. If we get a plus explosion damage item, I'll take a look at that. You might be correct. I know it scales off of range damage, that's for sure. let's read a couple tooltips. Okay, regeneration for speed, fine. I'm gonna roll here. I'm gonna roll again. Okay, armor. 50% of range damage on the projectile spawns. Okay, knockback's good. Damage for range, yes. I'm gonna take baby elephant as well. Okay, Finn, awesome. Oh, look at this lifesteal gain right here. Yes, piercing does work on the cactus projectiles, definitely. Am sure on that one. I think after this next lifesteal add up, anything just max HP is kind of what I want. The symbol on the projectile for Cacti Club is the range damage symbol, so I think that's what it scales off of. Three armor sounds good. Okay, looks great. Submachine gun 2, I kind of wish. Actually, no, I might drop this. Does this gain anything? This is pretty bad. Let's go ahead and lock submachine gun 2 and replace the thing here. Okay, 8. That's the same. Okay, no peaceful bee here. Yo, I know. Thanks for 73 months, 6 years, and climbing. Yeah, stick builds can be really strong on characters that can have all sticks. Getting all sticks, though, is a challenge. I think Wildling likes that build. Okay, I'm gonna take, go for dodge. Yeah, let's replace here. Okay, range damage for range all day. Take a little luck. Wheat sounds incredible. Also gonna take this max HP from HP. I'm at 19 lifesteal currently, with a lot of very fast firing weapons, so I can drop yeah, I can easily drop HP regeneration and go into lifesteal here. Might get me killed on the boss again, but I think this build's much better defensively than the previous build. It's not as good offensively, that's for sure. Nah. Alright, 3 range damage is pretty ridiculous. I'm going to take that. A little late for piggy bank. I'm just going to pass and roll. You know what? I'm going to take Mouse. Got exactly enough for it. It brings to 24% lifesteal. That's a lot of lifesteal. Sure, I'll take that. Yeah, I don't disagree that Circular Saw may be losing some value here. Could be replaced. Well, Flamethrower 3 I should probably take. Probably drop the Submachine Gun too, just because it's going to provide such a heavy amount of lifesteal. Oh, wow. Okay. Take that too. Not bad. I'm just gonna take the max HP here. Okay, Flamethrower 4. There we go. Broken Mouth. Okay, Rocket Launcher 3. Does look good. Did I buy the plastic explosive on this run? That was not this one. There it is again. Right, Baby with a Beard. 31 damage per projectile. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Boy, that lad's quick. Excuse me, coming through. This little tater guy coming through. Excuse me. Excuse me, little tater right here. Excuse me. Chunky build, dude. Loving it. Okay, I'll take the damage. More armor is probably worth keeping on there. Medical Gun 3. Oh, much easier when it's not Elite Wave. Wow. Nicer. I'm still worried about the boss, but at least this time, if I'm on the boss, we have a decent lifesteal amount between the minigun and the submachine gun. It's spicy, boy. Oh, dude, I got crushed in the middle there. That is fair. Let's do it again. I want to start with Ghost Axe again. Hey, Nikon 662, thanks for 86 months. That's more than 7 years, my man. Alright, more tree spawn. Definitely something I like here. Also, trees die in one hit early. I'm going to combine these. I'm gonna roll here. Whetstone sounds nice, but it's not correct. I'm gonna take all that. The reharvesting begins again. Take melee damage here. Alright, weird ghost time. I'm gonna lock that. I'm gonna lock this too. Yeah, the whetstone's like one of the best stat items, I think. It's not that hard to find a boxing glove to counteract the minus knockback. And even a little bit of minus knockback's not like not critical in most cases. Ow. There we go. You know what? +4 engineering, I'm going to take that. It very well could be relevant later. Armor. Let's take another Ghost Axe. Let's combine them. Alright, we'll take the melee damage for now. I'm going to keep these locked. I really like the weird food item. Also, wheelbarrow this early. Very nice for harvesting. Free items? Okay, landmines, yes. Incendiary turret, you bet. What a great set of free items there. Take, I'm gonna take range damage, actually. Roll once. Melee damage, okay. We got the damages. Take that. Engineering as well. Okay, let's take the dodge this time. I mean, more damage. Let's go. Okay, I want that. I want that. You know, crit chance actually is pretty good here since we're gaining damage base. Let's grab Cyber Ball. One of those never hurts. Okay, another spear. Let's lock the range damage for range. Let's also lock Snail. Oh. Did not have enough weapons in our hands. Alright, excuse me real quick. This very quick restroom break, and then we'll be into another run of Brotato. All right. Let's do it again. Starting to gain damage from wave 1's a nice feel. You know, I'm gonna take regeneration. Okay, here we go. Early bag, I'm gonna lock that. I'm just gonna buy pistol. I don't intend on keeping pistol, but it is a weapon for our hands. I don't think Ghost Axe is going to be getting a lot at the moment. These other weapons, and that's all right. Building into just one Ghost Axe would be perfectly fine. Hell yeah, free item wave 2. Let's go. Range for free. Yep. Let's take the harvesting. Okay, okay. My bag here, I'm gonna lock these two, and I think I might lock pumpkin as well because it improves shotgun, and if I end up getting piercing on the scepters like we did last time, it was really good. Okay, let's get away from pumpkin. Let's roll one. Fair. Yeah, shotgun does scale very well off of range damage. Definitely fair. Combine these, buy this. I'm gonna keep propeller hat locked. Actually combine these as well. Okay. Re-armor, that's good. I'll take 10 luck. Okay, Cacti Club, here we go. Can I afford both? I can. Cacti Club is definitely the type of item we want. Definitely take that. I mean, damage is damage. Okay, a little more harvesting sounds great. Okay, both Scope and Little Muscly Dude are really good here. Do I still need a melee weapon? I do. Spike Shield's actually really awesome for that. Alright, Ghost Axe 3 then. I'm liking this start. Alright, lifesteal for harvesting. Sure. 6 dodge. Let's go. Man. 3 range damage is a lot of damage up right now. I'm going to take that over the armor even. Okay, melee damage crit rate. Let's do a roll here. Okay, another Cacti Club. Looks good. No second scepter here. Alright, so we're looking to replace the shotgun and the pistol, I think. Or improve the shotgun, drop the pistol is probably more likely. I'd be pretty stoked for a shotgun 4 on this character. For free? Sure. 6 HP. Here we can test the Cacti Club thing with the explosion damage here. So I don't think it scaled off explosion damage, but we buy this to increase it and did not. That was worth looking. Alright, I'll take another wheelbarrow here. Let's lock the worm too. Damage is damage. I did that to myself, big time. Alright, one more Regeneralist then. Let's start with Cacti Club this time. Okay, second Cacti Club. Let's take landmines too. That's not a bad pickup. What's the primitive bonus? Primitive is max HP, huh? Can actually see rocks working okay, but let's roll. Ooh, third Cacti Club? Alright. That's definitely a build, isn't it? Let's just leave it there. I'd be perfectly fine with all three of our melee weapons just being Cacti Clubs. Seems pretty brutal, and I love it. Alright, let's take the range damage. Oh, man. Okay, let's lock this too. Let's also lock the luck. Let's unlock the luck. Gentle Alien Cacti Club we will take, though. Now for some range weapons. Pretty hard to turn down the weird food, though I need other stuff. Yeah, let's take a turret as well. Passive damage is good. It's clearing a lot better than I thought it was going to for only having 3 weapons. Alright, little luck never hurt anybody. Let's take some HP regen too. Alright, alien food. I'll take the shuriken, sure. Alright, slingshot's a fun range weapon here. Also fits into the primitive style. Let's take this crit as well. Lumberjack sure would be super decent with these Cacti Clubs. The little projectiles can also pop the trees in one hit. Oh, hell yeah. Alright, 10 luck, fine. I am going to take this cute monkey, though it does damage down, it does provide some passive healing. Rocket launcher 2 is our third range weapon, you bet. Yeah, I'm really coming around on turrets. I was always passing these up, but especially in these early waves, that passive damage out, I mean, it's just picking enemies off. good. The Shuriken is a ranged weapon. It just scales off of melee damage. Alright, 6 melee damage, really good. Third Cacti Club, too. You look at the tooltip on the item here, on the bottom, it says range, and that's where the type of item is. So, this says range 220 melee on the Cacti Club, and this says range 390 ranged on the Shuriken. Definitely open to replacing the Shuriken. You know, 4 engineering here is probably worth it too. That's a lot of engineering. That's a lot. Would love to replace the Shuriken with Shredder. That'd be the one. Oh yeah. Great item there. Let's take our first harvesting. Pickup range, that's big. Okay, more damage. I think Warrior Helmet looks pretty good here. Let's lock this. Let's also take Snail. We're chunking right now. Those guys got rocked. Holy guacamole. Our damage is quite good at the moment. Alright, plus speed's really good. Okay, no on that. Okay, I'm gonna take the 9 movement speed here, because I'm about to take quite down. Oh man, 3 range damage though. Let's take armor, in fact. Shuriken 3 is definitely better than Shuriken 1. One roll, please. I'm gonna lock this crit chance too. Hey, Alas001, thanks so much for 17 months. Glad you could be here on this 26th day of fragMas. Awesome. Yo, the Night Owl. Thanks for 40 months. Much appreciation. Thank you. Recycling machine seems okay here. I bet we make more than 75 off recycling machine. I'm also going to take this move speed so we're in the green again. That's a good item. Alright, here's Shredder. Is Shredder going to be better than Shuriken 3? I think so. Also, lock both these. My Tater looks awesome right now. Look out, goofball coming through. Alright, let's go ahead and take wheelbarrow, sure. You know, minus 10% enemies doesn't seem bad, in fact. 84 for the recycle, though, that's pretty significant. I'm gonna take the speed, so we're at least in the positive. Let's take Blood Leech, yes. Scope, Alien Eyes, take another Insanity. 18 crit rate, not bad. Alright, Power Generator, now plus speed also becomes plus damage. This is definitely not an elite killing build. This is a survival build. Let's just stay away from this lad. Man, look at that. I think I'm going to take the 3 range damage here. It's just so much damage. So much. Okay, lifesteal's fine. Let's take the alien now. Let's take the shop reroll. I guess we'll combine these to get this. Okay, that's good too. One more roll. Whetstone, hell yeah. I would say this build is very balanced. Though it's not excelling at any one thing. If I could max out my dodge or something, I'd be feeling pretty good right now. Oh, music got stuck at the store volume. That happens sometimes. No. I'm gonna roll again. Fine. Okay, lifesteal, lifesteal. 10% crit's a lot. This is a minus 5% damage because speed is damage right now, but even with that, I believe that's a good idea. This too. All right, I'll take it. Shredder 3, yep. I probably replace Slingshot with Shredder 3 now. Some attack speed would be nice too, man. To be fair, Slingshot is putting in some work though. Shredder 3 though is nice. Nice weapon. I don't die here to these projectiles. Dang, dude, I think I'm dead. Not dead yet. That's nice. Not dead's my preferred state. Got a couple enemies spawned here. It's a couple. Woo! Attack speed was the lacking stat there. That is fair. That is fair. Yo, Juice Man 001, thanks for 93 months. Much appreciation, dude. All right, let's do one more run. I'm gonna start with a Slingshot this time, mix it up. Ooh. I mean, round one bag, kind of got to have it. Let's roll here. I'm gonna go for, let's go scissors. That's a good item for damage as well. Lightning Shiv. I accept Lightning Shiv's pretty decent. Okay, there we go. Our hands are gonna be full of stuff. Okay, I'm gonna take this and this. I'm actually gonna unlock Hatchet. We can do better. Yes, up Macasabra. That is a fun one. Alright, hammer 2. Coffee and turret. Let's do one roll here as well. Submachine gun want. Very eclectic weapon setup so far. Alright, let's take harvesting. Okay, submachine gun, coffee, turret. Oh, plank's not it. Okay, another lens. That's nice. Just melee and range damage. Let's lock the boxing glove here. And we need a ranged weapon. Slingshot 3 will definitely be that. Let's take landmines as well. Look out, he's coming through. He's got a hammer, a knife, a submachine gun, and some scissors. I'm scared. Alright, we'll get some luck stat. 9 dodge for sure. Alright, looks good. I'm gonna drop scissors for lightning shiv 2. Let's take this. One roll here. Okay, medical turret, big time. I'm gonna take metal detector too. Does lower our damage, but chance to get bonus materials? Yeah. Okay, 9 max HP. Ooh, piggy bank wave 7. Okay. So I'm going to buy a metal detector and this as well. I'm going to buy medical turret next round, but then I'm saving through wave 9. This piggy bank. Just metal or just medical turret next round. I consider even locking weapons, but I don't need any more clear ability right now. This is the break I needed. I'm not sure on that, Mikasa brought, as I haven't played DD2, though I think it's a new story in the same universe is the idea. They're definitely not interconnected to my knowledge. Okay, no. 10% attack speed, thanks. Let's go ahead and take 9 dodge. Okay, I want all this stuff, but I'm gonna save through wave 9. Here we go. Okay, I'll take 45 range. Lightning Shiv 3, huh? Spears here as well. Okay, we gotta save through this next wave because piggy bank. But I think I'm gonna go into drop the hammer for lightning shiv, and then we can go into some elemental damage even. Doesn't scale as well as some other items, but it could get us to lightning shiv 4 pretty quickly, which is nice. Yeah, let's just keep it locked. It's a purple. Oof. Tough one. Saved a bit too much. Alright, last attempt here on Generalist. Let's do Slingshot again. Alright, let's just take the damage early. Okay, shotgun and trees die in one hit. Good start. Let's roll for weapons. This is promising. Let's skip the alien. I keep getting overwhelmed later on in the waves. Let's not add more enemy percentage. I do think double slingshot, double shotgun looks pretty good. Alright, there's bag. Let's take 10 luck. We finally got the slingshot. Oh, that's right. It was all range weapons. I get it now. I'm gonna take this and roll. Laser gun 2, no. Okay, another shotgun. Where is... where's my melee weapons, though? Shotgun has base pierce, yes, of 1, and it gains piercing as it levels up. I think Shotgun 4 has a piercing value of 3. It's really strong. Okay. Well, Coupon, yes. We'll go ahead and take this too. I need a melee weapon. Wow. Wave 5 crown. Alright, this is something. Definitely going to buy that. If I can get any amount of harvesting, that could win a run for us right there. All right, buying that, buying this. I think pickup range sounds good too. Let's just go with it. I'm not gonna lock a rock. So the crowd makes our harvesting go up by 13% every wave. So if I can get any amount of harvesting, that is just a massive resource gain. There's no way it doesn't gain the 96 we paid for it back. It's a matter of the opportunity cost costs us the runner or not. I want a spear. That's what I want. I'll take the rain damage here. Okay, double barrel shotgun 2 becomes double barrel shotgun 3. Okay, I mean, Ghost Axe is a melee weapon, so I'm gonna take it. Alright, that's something. Hey there, Spicy. Glad you could make it. Merry fragMas. That is fair. All right, it's going to take a quick nom break here real quick. So having a quick egg and toast already prepared. 1 moment. All right. Thank you kindly for your patience there during that brief food break. On break, I kind of realized I think today's not my day for Brotato. I don't think I have the reaction time going on today. Well, that happens sometimes. Recognizing that, I'm going to move into a little study time here. Give me just a sec to get this loaded up, and I'll load up the FTL soundtrack. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay, we got 49 correspondence games going. If you ever want to challenge me to a correspondence game, that's always an open option. I play 5-day correspondence quite frequently. All right, now we're going to work on some puzzles, though. As a reminder, puzzles are not a competition, so you are more than welcome to make suggestions or talk about the board state. We're not in a live game or anything. Puzzle rating to me is not a very big deal, just a reflection of our overall knowledge base. Okay, so first thing I notice here is we have our queen's being attacked, but we're also pinning the king, and if we take this pawn, then we're hitting the queen here, which does look quite promising, because if we take here and we hit the queen has to move. We can take with check, and then take the rook at the end. Hey, Steam313, thanks for 123 months. Thank you. That looks like it to me. I'm trying to see if there's any other way forward. I don't think so. Moving the queen just loses the tempo, so you can make any move after that. At least this has an imperative threat, or double threat even. Okay. Now we're pinned. Thinking maybe actually it's this. Yeah, okay. And now the bishop hangs. That was a tricky one. Didn't quite end how I thought it was going to. All right, best move for white. Well, what I'd like to do is check the king and queen on the same squares so that I can trade the queens off them and promote the pawn. Doesn't look like that's going to happen here, though. First move I'm looking at is queen e7 check, because if they go down, we have checkmate on this square, so they kind of have to go back or to here. So here or here would look most likely. I also have the option here, I guess, of check and then push, because that blocks the queen from getting back to the defensible square. What does pushing right now look like? King comes in, so no. Yeah, that's a nope. Start here. Alright, that's what I thought was going to happen. Now I think I can push the pawn. The tempting move would be here. Check, but then he's going to go behind the pawn. Is that better to push after he goes behind the pawn or not? The reason I think it's push now instead of move the queen is that this square is the check square. So if, let's say, I just move the queen anywhere, he can check, and then after the exchange pick this up, and we're in trouble. So I think it's promote now or just don't. We can also check and then push after that. Is that somehow better than just pushing right now? Pushing seems the most forcing to me. Okay, let's go. It's not it. Here it is. Now push. Okay, I want to back this up with the engine help here and see what the dealio was. What happens if I push here? Oh, okay, okay. Then we get locked into this is checkmate, so I have to push a pawn. I missed this little checkmate net right here. Fair enough. We had the right idea. I've certainly done a handful of bosun. I haven't done jigsaw puzzle in a while, though. My family usually has one going somewhere in the house. All right, best move for black. Seems like the immediate goal here is going to be to try to promote the pawn. Also, though, his king is on the back rank, so I can threaten checkmate right here. That's checkmate, so he'd have to move the king over if that was the case. So I'm thinking rook d8 looks pretty nice because we're threatening checkmate on d1. So his moves to block that are to take the king over, which is most likely. And then the second most likely move would be what? Oh, I think I see how this unwinds. Okay, so we go rook d8. His only option to stop checkmate on the next move is king c1. Then we can go check here. And since we've cut off this file, his only moves are to go move down to these squares. And then I can go check. And then, okay, he moves down. Maybe even check over here, and then we've cleared the runway by protecting the two squares for the pawn to promote. Let's start here. Okay, he moves over indeed. Is there any reason I don't push now, actually? So I was looking at a unwinding of this by checking, and then he moves, and I check again, and then I check again, pulling him away from the defense of the pawn. But if I just push right now, is there any defensible move? There is. You can go rook e7, and then my my pawn's kind of bamboozled here. So that makes me think for sure it's that. Or can go here, threatening checkmate again. The problem is that drops the pawn. Okay, how about this? If we push the pawn right now, rook or e2, and he goes rook e7, a resource that we have here is now the pawn's protecting the check square. So if he doubles up on this, I can go check, and then he has to move down, and then I promote with check, and he has to block it, so he can't take the promoted pawn. That sounds much better. And because of all that stuff we just discussed, that's why he took the pawn with the rook. Makes sense. Yo, Mike Marin, thanks for that tier 2 97-month subscription. Appreciate you, dude. Thank you. All right, best move for black here. First thing we see is our rook is under attack. What else is going on here? even material on the board right now. Well, white's up 1 pawn, but even pieces. Interesting position. Let's back this up. How did we get here? Let's look at this game that this puzzle came from. What's this called? The Wade defense? No, that's not it. Okay. Yeah, perk. There you go. That's it. Okay, one thing I'm noticing here is I have the move bishop a6, which skewers the king and the rook. That looks quite nice. So how do we do this to the point where it doesn't mess this up? I suppose what we can do here is just threaten the bishop. And there's no piece that can come to the aid of the bishop to defend it, so he has to move it to the side, and at which point I can go bishop a6. That's looking pretty promising. Is there any way that bishop a6 is the first move? I don't think so. I think rook e8 to keep the initiative makes sense. Got him. I smell a checkmate. Yeah, what do? What do? Alright, so they have 3 minor pieces to R2, even rooks, and some very advanced pawns here. So I think this is a pretty imminent puzzle. We're already down material. The most forcing move on the board for me is bishop g2. Yeah, knight d2 does look very good, Clover Grievant. I agree. All right, let's try bishop g2. Let's just look at this. There's only one move you can make after bishop g2, and that is rook takes g2. So I think the natural follow-up to that would then be check. If he blocks, he gets checkmated, so he has to take. And I think we take with the queen, but I'm also now noticing that the knight might be able to fork the queen and the king. I don't think the king gets lured to that square, though. I would be very surprised if this puzzle does not start with bishop g2, so I'm going to start there. Okay, yes. Oh, yeah. I kind of missed the checkmate at the end there, but it seemed like a very natural path forward, so sometimes when you're playing chess, you just make a series of what you think's the best move, and it works out. All right, best move for white. It's probably something to do with these two pawns trying to promote. Okay, maybe not. In fact, the move Rook A2 threatens checkmate, because these squares are all covered by my pawns, so it's like he has a barrier in front of him. So if I go Rook A2, the only move to save the king becomes King F8. And then I can check, and then I have follow-up promotion. Looks keen to me. I do need to be careful of maybe some shenanigans here. We have King... I guess King H2 is a very concise way to duck out of remaining checks. H3 would let this happen. And then I guess we could just walk back. Yeah, so it's probably H2 if we end up they end up doing that. It's not the move. Okay. How much better is that? Okay, he had this move, so that's what I missed. I missed after this, he's gonna go here, and then we don't get our checkmate. Alright, that was a pretty big defensive resource to miss, but I did. Boy, this is feeling like a queen trap. Please excuse me for just a moment. Just going to use the restroom real quick and refill my water real fast. Then we'll be into some more puzzling. All right. All right, let's see where we're at here on this puzzle. Thanks for your patience during that one. Reading chat here, I see Knight C5 is a suggestion. I think it's a good idea. Because Knight C5 c5 does allow queen takes here. Maybe this is not a queen trap. Is there a good point to luring the queen to this square? Okay, if we give, let's say we give our opponent a move. If we just pass, we passed it. We said we don't want to take a move. Where's he going to go? He's going to pull the queen out probably. And if I go here, he can still just back out to this square. Then the queen's safe. So it's feeling like maybe queen trap is not it. If I allow him to take here, he has this square to go to. Pretty much everything else is covered though. So I guess if I got him to this square, then this would be a trap. Yeah, the knight's unprotected on c5. So if we go here and he takes here, we have a hanging knight on c5. So unless we can defend the knight and attack the queen on the same maneuver, it's not saved. Yeah, let's go down that that line more. So if we go rook b8, queen takes a6, bishop c8. Queen takes here. Yeah, I don't think that traps the queen. Maybe I'm just like chasing a ghost here on this queen trap. The queen does look very vulnerable right now, but it's definitely possible that's not it. Oh, that's a tough one. All right, here's another node. We do have this surprise attack. So if I can lure the queen to a square where the knight can jump and attack, I can pick off this bishop. Well, it is fair to say that the knight can be defended by the other knight, opening the surprise attack from there, but does this threaten the queen in any way? This one's a brain buster. I'm liking this puzzle. The more I look at this, the more it's kind of hard to imagine the opening move is not knight c5 or rook b8. We move the pawn to c5, the queen can go right back to b3. And then once it's back to b3, it's good. It's just going to back up probably to c2. Also keeps continuity on the bishop. Nothing wrong with that suggestion. Don't worry about your suggestion being wrong or anything. It's just discussing the board. After all, figuring out chess puzzles is a lot of process of elimination. Yo, Northern Simon, thanks for 29 months. Appreciate that very much. I think I'm going to pick knight c5 here in about a minute. I'm going to give myself another second to look at this and figure out. I think knight c5 is the most desirable looking move to me right now because it does not forfeit the knight. Like, if I go here, unless I trap the queen after queen takes a6, which I'm not seeing, then... yeah, that's tough. Where this at least has a forcing function. Let's try. Okay, best move. Now we get to reconnoiter here. The best move I'm seeing right now is rook ace c8, but that does allow for the escape of the queen, doesn't it? No, it doesn't, because after we go here, all of the squares are covered except for b5, and after we do that, we can bring the bishop back, and then all the squares are removed. Everything's covered. Okay, does the taking of this knight stop the queen from being trapped? Covered, covered. Covered, covered. Yes, okay, so he freed up the b2 square, so now we need to take. Ooh, that was a spicy puzzle, dude. That's spicy. All right, we're pinned. I was looking at this, but I think it just fails to pawn push. Got two pieces for the rook, and they're very far advanced. This has to be a forcing puzzle of some kind. Not much getting around that. They're about to promote to queen. I guess the bishop can take the promotion at the moment. Queen takes rook's not working. Okay, let's see what checks we have. A check here, check here. We have a check here as well. Probably starting with one of those. Now, on an interesting note, queen takes f4 is threatening check, checkmate. I guess this, having seen that, this is not that desirable, because then I can check here. The only downside I see to that is that he can then bring the queen back to the defensible square. So we're no longer continuing the attack. And then after that's all done, this is still a major problem. Am quite liking bishop f6, but I don't see the direct follow-up I want. That's true. If the queen moves, we can move the knight. That's a very fair point. Let's explore. So if we go bishop f6, g5, queen takes f4, queen f4. No. I mean, if I can get the king here and the queen here, we do have fork. All right, let's look at one more deviation here. Bishop f6, g5, check here. What happens if bishop takes then? Queen can't take, king can't take, has to go here, knight moves in. Okay. I believe in this path. Okay, so he just straight up moved. I'm guessing taking the rook. It has to be, it is with check as well. And then check here. Nope, not check there. Probably check here, if I had to guess. If I take here, we drop the queen. That'd be no fun. Queen d3 check looks like the best move to me right here, just because it keeps initiative. And then we can also force check or threaten checkmate from this square if he does push forward. Right now, this pawn's contained. There's no infiltration happening. The concern is this check is annoying. And then if I move here, then the pawn can promote. And that's a disaster. Maybe even just like going here and then centralizing the queen to embolden this defense doesn't seem too bad. We did already pick up the rook, so just getting to a stabilized point should be enough for advantage. I don't see why that wouldn't do it. The question is that the best move? At this moment, I don't see a better move. Okay, he blocks with the queen. Kind of have to take the queen, which is fine. All right, I want to see how the rest of this game went. I want to see this. Was that it? They resigned there? Let's see how the game would have continued. Okay. Pick off this pawn. Pick off this pawn. Run it up. I missed the bishop b2 portion, though. I think the best move was quite clear there. Okay, best move for white. Maybe some sort of pawn break over here. We can kick the knight, threatening here. It's a pretty nasty play. In fact, if he moves down, which is the only option I can checkmate, if I check from here, that's checkmate. Oh, he's got this square. Queen h6 is currently stopped by knight takes h6, which is why I think this pawn move might be included first. Also looking at this, but doesn't go anywhere. We also have check here and check here, but those seem pretty defensible. I think you're on the right idea, Bashananas. I think we just had to remove the defender first. Yeah, let's just go f3. All right, now queen h6, check. Okay, he did go here. I don't actually see checkmate here with the queen h8 follow-up, so I think it's going to be rook f4. Pick up that queen. Let's just explore real quick. So if I go here, he has... Well, this would be checkmate, and I get this in. But he's not going to do that. He's going to go here. And after he goes to e7, I don't have a good follow-up check. So this is it. Well, I think I stumbled into the solution to this puzzle just by just by looking at the enemy threats. Right now, this is a very serious problem. Covered, covered, covered. We're risking checkmate, so it almost seems like it has to be rook takes d7. One, it covers the square I'm about to be checkmated on, and two, this knight cannot take because this square is checkmate. This is also threatening checkmate here as well. So rook takes d7 appears to solve almost all of the problems in our current position, at least for one move. I think a great place to start on any puzzle is, if you just pass the baton to your opponent, what move would they make? And queen d4 is gonna get us killed. He did it anyways. Awesome. All right, we're not out of the woods yet. So he is threatening checkmate on h3. One way out of that would be knight to h3. I could also do pawn to h3. I also have this as a possibility, though. That probably opens up some weird discovery options. I guess in truth, if I move this knight, I'm creating an escape square for the king, though the squares are still very limited. I Yeah, it's not going to be knight h3, because then he just takes, and then I'm pinned, and then we have a big-time problem. I think this looks good, but then I'm locked in this cage still. Does that matter? I guess I can follow up with g4 next and make this my escape square. There's no way for the enemy to really cut me off, because this is covered twice, and even if he kicks the rook, we have other options. Queen takes h7, I think just, it doesn't fail, but it's not an improvement, because the knight will take. Could also go knight takes here, and then if he takes, we have this. No, knight takes will fail to this. We have to stop rook takes h2. I think h3 seems to be the safest play. It keeps our knight in position to keep this from moving or immobilized, and solves our problems. Okay. We are going to take with the knight here. Okay. That was a long puzzle, man. Well, the move that's jumping out at me here is queen h3 check, because the king will only have one square to move to and no blocker. So the follow-up to that, rook h1, means he has to move his queen out of the way. And where his queen's currently at, he can't check my king. Let's explore that. Queen h3 check, king g8, rook h1, queen to... Let's just say queen d5 for the sake of argument. And then I have check. And he comes down here. Hey there, Cooper. Yep, there is one check here, you're right, with the knight. Good call. Well observed. Is there any functional difference between starting with rook h1 or queen h3? Since those moves are kind of interchangeable, it's making me think maybe that's not the solution. Here's a pretty interesting option. So if we go queen h3 check, king g1, rook here, queen moves wherever it moves to. We also can go check and then follow up with a knight move. Moving the rook first does put him in check here, game MVP, so we'll be unable to take the queen till the next move, which is why I'm thinking that this line is a little bit dubious, because what makes queen h3 better than rook h1? If one of those moves isn't better, then that line may not be the start to the puzzle, and I can't figure out a difference between rook h1 and queen h3. Doesn't mean there isn't one. It just means I don't see it. Yep, that is one difference. Sphere more on. He says that by going rook h1 first, it does keep a pin active on the queen, but there's not a direct way to exploit that. That is a difference between the move order, though. Seeing a suggestion to possibly move the knight on the second turn. That's an interesting idea. Change up the move order. So if we go queen h3 check, king g5, and then we go knight f5. That is more threatening because this pawn becomes very weak. And after the follow-up move away, if we check, this is going to be a target. Okay. Okay, that's also well observed. Seeing if we move the queen first, the pin is active here still. I'm gonna look at this for about 2 more minutes, and I'm gonna take the move queen h3, I think, unless I find a better option. Yo-ho, Barefoot, thank you so much for 95 months, doubling down on that resub, love it. All the people that resubbed at the start of fragMas now getting their bonus time in twice, that's allowed. 47 hours, 8 minutes of bonus time starting January 1st, hot dog. A lot of great suggestions here in chat. Thank you all. Still very unsure about a lot of these ideas. Like, I'm still having a really hard time discerning the functional difference between queen and rook. You know, here we go. Here we go. Okay, I think I got it. So if we go queen h3 first, the king has to go here, right? And then we can go knight f5. And what knight f5 is threatening is this. We're going to pick up the queen. So we're creating a really nasty threat that if he moves the queen, we're now hitting this as well. So I can check here and force the king down and then take with the rook or the queen is follow-up. The issue will come, he's going to take this check. So we got to figure out where the king goes from there to not be checked again. I think it's here. Yeah, this looks good. That's it? Okay, no, I need to see more. Thank you, Stockfish. This is not clear to me. All right, so the queen has to move, and the queen goes to d7. Oh, right, there's this check as well. Oh, man, look at all these arrows. All right, at the end of that, it's saying just to skewer this, though. Okay. Puzzle complete? Not according to me. The difference there, Fari, to clarify what the realization was that by moving the queen first, we were leaving the pin active on the G file. So while moving the rook or the queen accomplished the same effect of getting the king to G8, the queen move was better because this pin remained active, and that was another move for the knight to be protected. That's a good question. Let's look at this real quick. Okay, so we go here, and then here, and then flash there. What's wrong with this? Okay, so my move was correct. King e2. The reason e2 is correct is if you put your king 2 squares away diagonally from the knight, it takes 3 moves for the knight to be able to check the king again. And this check's blocked as well. Okay. Well, one thing I do see here is that this knight's like a 4th pawn in front of the king, so this looks really tempting, but after he takes, and I check here, it's going to move the knight back. I suppose I have... No, I don't have that. That's interesting. Starting with check would provide a follow-up attack, so I guess that actually works out. We can go check. He has to go here. We check here. And he has to take with this pawn, and then we pick this up with check. That would be up in exchange, though we are in some trouble on our queen side here. I think knight e2 is looking like a strong candidate move to me. What was that noise? Well, that was Winston. Okay, that makes sense. Winston's a weird little guy, and we like him. Queen takes f1. King takes f1. Rook d1 check. Gets blocked by the knight here. We would be able to follow up with this move if that was the case, but then the king can slide out, and then we've given up queen for rook. So I don't see that ending a material advantage for us. So it's not a bad line, but I think it's here, here, and then take the rook with check. Let's start here. Winston was stuck. That's tough. That's tough. Did you get under the blankets? No. Okay. He's just a little guy. Yeah, this has to be a forcing line. Our rook's hanging right now. All right, just grabbing a little coffee here. Be back in just a moment. Thank you for all your suggestions and conversation here while we're doing puzzles. Very helpful, insightful. A lot of great ideas being shared. Don't worry if your idea is wrong. No big deal. Chess in a lot of ways is a process of elimination. All ideas are appreciated. All right, I was thinking about this position when I was stood up, and I believe that it just has to be a defensive king move. It's finding the right square for the king. Obviously, we can't block with the rooks. We'll get just hammered here. So we got to pick the right square while maintaining this threat of promoting with check. So really, our options here are to go here and here, or go right to G3. G3 looks pretty gnarly because this is the follow-up. And then even if we get away from that, takes, promotes with check, comes back, we're still down down material, right? Yes, because we lost the rook. Then we have queen and knight versus queen and rook. So king G1's looking pretty good, which, you know, it looks scary because you're almost checkmated, but there's only one more check he can do, which is here. And then if we go here, even if he threatens checkmate, let's say, or takes... Oh, he can pick up the rook from there. Okay. That's tough. Yeah, if we go here, then he gets this, and then our pawn doesn't promote, period. So maybe there is some shenanigan going on with king G3 after this move. Could it be king E1 here? No, we just get checkmated outright by queen C1. So it almost seems like it has to be king G3. I don't think it'll be king G4, Sparrow, though I think you're on the right line here, because if we go king G4, then he takes the rook with check. And then we're going to lose this pawn, too. So I think the remaining moves after F4 check is H3, H4, or I guess H2. I think I like H3 the most because it covers this pawn for the rook and it stops any surprise check here. Let me look at king G1 one more time. Yeah, no, it's just right here. It's just going to get wrecked. King G3. What? It's got to be F4, right? F4 is they're gonna go queen F1 though, and then what? When I say yikes. That is tough to defend. Oh, I see. After the promotion happens, we had the knight here, so it's going to be a checkmate. Or close to. Fair. Could definitely see this ending with forking the king and queen, perhaps. No, it's really hard to get to. I was thinking from here, but then we're 3 squares away from check. There's no way. Let's take a look at knight promotion real fast, because that's the only check available to us that's direct, other than knight e6, which looks dubious. All right, knight promotes check. The remaining squares for the king would be... here, 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 and here. I will note that after promoting with check, we can't hit the queen with this knight, right? So if I can get the king to this square and this square only, we have that. I think this puzzle might be a little out of my pay grade, and that's okay. We're going to keep working at it. You know, 96 is looking better and better. Because, I mean, let's say he goes here to get closer to the pawn. We have follow-up checks, and then promoting, possibly with check again. I think 96 looks very desirable right now as a follow-up. It's hard to imagine promoting this into a knight unless I get the fork, and I have to get the king to the square that the knight is currently blocking. I'll look for about 2 more minutes, but I'm thinking knight e6 is the follow-up, though I'm a little unclear why. It has to be a forcing move of some kind, so I guess either knight e6 check or promote to knight. And the promotion to knight, I just don't see it working out the way I want. Okay, let me look one more time here at this. So if I promote with check, the king has to pick a square to move to. The square is... This just doesn't work with the knight promotion. Okay, here we go. Promote to queen. Show me, Stockfish. Show me why that's the best. Okay, and then after we go here, then what? Check. Oh, that's really clever, man. Can't take the knight because then we skewer the queen. Okay. I can tell you, if I looked at that puzzle for 45 minutes, I wouldn't have got that one. Okay. Move 23, knight takes f7. Best move for black. Okay, I'm liking bishop takes g3, because the first thing you notice here is, one, that we're getting forked, right? And then, but two, if we move a rook in front of the queen, it's a pin. But the issue with pinning the queen with either rook is that the knight can take with check, and then... no good. But if we take first... and let's say they take one of our rooks, we can still back down for a bishop f4 check and then retake, and then we've, you know, gotten 2 clean pieces for the rook, which is fair. Is this knight doing anything? Not really. Bishop f4 check. So if they take back with the bishop, we take with the queen. And if they don't take, then we're going to take with the queen anyways. So we're interrupting the defense of the knight with the bishop with check. This is so 2300 puzzle level, where it's like, it gives you this a move that looks so desirable, but it's really not anything to do with it. Yeah, this is it for sure. Plus 14 for that little piddly puzzle? Thanks, Lee Chess. Well then, that's a battery. Okay. Boaz, yeah, this is the ELO for the puzzle level. You can see the rating of the players that are created this puzzle, right? But this is the puzzle rating we're playing at. How puzzle level is determined, I'm not exactly sure, but I would say the rating of the players somewhat correlates to the ELO of the puzzle, but not always. You can get a higher rated puzzle from lower rated players. Probably has to just do with the number of moves and type of calculation required. I will say Lee Chess generating games from, or puzzles from games, is really nice. I enjoy it a lot, because you can always, like, sometimes you get the puzzle like, how did we get here? You can just back the game up and then see how you got to that position. All right, let's actually take a look at this. Looks like rook takes f7 is pretty clean. Because rook takes f7 check. King can't go this way. King must go to the left if it moves. If the king moves, we have checkmate. So the only follow-up would be queen takes, and then we have checkmate in front. Is it really that simple? No, it's not, because we're pinned as well. How do I unpin my king? Since they've already promoted a second queen, this has to be forcing. The only other real check available is going to be this one, and that doesn't look too bad. Or perhaps even... well, check, check. Yeah, the rook's covering the knight check here. It has to be a check start, because checkmate's next move. Queen takes g6 would be nice if we were getting checkmate next move. I think it kind of has to be star with queen h8. It's the only check that isn't immediately interrupted or isn't resulting in checkmate. So after this, he's forced to go to e7, at which point we check here, and if he goes back, then we have this check. Ooh, that's tough. We can't move this rook until this queen has been dislodged. Suppose the most forcing move of all would be this. So if we take here, check, he has to take back with the queen, which unpins our rook. This would be check as well, and then you can choose a direction to go to. Okay, if he goes this way, he gets checkmated, I think. No, I can't move this rook either, dang. I don't think sacking the queen's it, because I don't think we have enough material left to checkmate or equalize. I think once black trades off his queen for my queen, he still has a queen left on board. It's inadequate. There's a fair point I'm reading here that if we go knight e6, if the rook takes, we have checkmate. I definitely glossed over that. That does make knight e6 look a lot more desirable. Okay, I want to follow this line I was looking at down to the end of it. So if we go check, he goes here. I go check, he goes back. Check. Over. No, that's not it. It is fair to say if I can get the king on this file, I can take this queen. So if I can check him over to the D file, that would be desirable. I think knight e6 looks the most promising start. Alright, I'm gonna go for it. Alright, queen takes. Now it's rook takes. Okay, yeah, this works out because if the queen takes back, it's checkmate, and if the king moves, we have checkmate anyways. All about getting the rook in front of the queen here. Whew. That was a brain buster. Bishop takes d6, looks fine. Okay, if I go here... I'm gonna do better than just picking up the piece, probably. I think it's gonna be takes, and after he hits here, I'm gonna go knight a4 and hit his queen, and it's also protected by the bishop. And then after the queen moves away, I can retreat my bishop back to g3 or whatever. Definitely don't think there's any attacking ideas. This is a pretty solid structure Black has going on. Not a lot of immediate weakness. It's not it. Here first. Okay, why didn't he defend the knight? Ah, because I can just kick it anyways. Gotcha. That's what I missed. Okay, what kind of squares does this king have right now? Not many. Covered, covered, covered. Blocked in by his own piece. Is this checkmate? Mate in one? No, it has bishop block, right. Alright, so which rook do we check with, is the question. We check with this one first. So what we're going to do is we're going to go rook e8 check, bishop d6, check, he takes here, checkmate. So we have to start with the top one so that this file's not protected. I think the trap here is to take the rook after the bishop blocks, but we have a forced mate instead. All right, best move for white. I have a hard time having it not be c5. Because then we're running. If I make it here, it's not good enough. We got too many pawns, too far away from the king. Right now, I'm considering if there's any reason to delay pushing. I don't think so, because if let's say I delay by taking here or something, he's going to take here, and then he's only a couple moves away from promotion, so I need to get this train rolling now. Not it. Here? Oh, okay. I misunderstood. Fair enough. Yo, FreezeLight21, thanks for keeping it dapper with Prime. Glad you're enjoying the content enough to even consider. Thank you, dude. Well, one thing I'm noticing right now is that the Enemy has no route to the back rank. They're blocked in here. Bless it. Blocked in here and blocked in here. So this becomes a very extreme threat. The only follow-up after pushing would be here. And I think I block with the bishop. No. You can't check me here. I gotta push first. No question about that. It looks safe, but is it right? White doesn't check with the other rook here, tinfoil, because the bishop's covering the check square. Zelsi likes king e6. What I don't want to do is allow him on to the d-file, because if we can get a rook behind this, then our plan is foiled. Although I do have this move to follow up to block that. Okay, maybe this is part of it. Maybe I allow a rook on the d-file and then go bishop, bishop d4 to guarantee the promotion. Okay, the more I look here, the more I think king e6 looks pretty desirable, because in the worst case scenario, we still get out. Like, if we go this way, then we're blocked in by this pawn. There could be, like, a checkmate or some other weird stuff. Quite a few annoyances with that. And take a look at this right-hand side one more time, though. So if I go here, he's going to check here, leaving only one move here. Yeah, then he's going to get a check in the take when the bishop's not active anymore. Not e6. It's block, isn't it? Yep. Yep. Well, if I go here, I'm getting forked. What was it? Okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So after all that, we got a bishop. Well, I really just misread that puzzle, to be honest. I think I'm gonna take that as my sign to stop doing puzzles today. That was a really fun session. We went up about 150 points. That was nice. We are, however, not done with the stream yet. We're going to head into the Spelunky 2 daily. We'll see how that goes. I'm feeling up for some Lunky. Definitely back for some more puzzles at some point. Do love me some chess. Alright, let's hop in the mine shaft here with Jay. You know what? Jay's been a little cursed lately. Let's pick a new character here. I want to play as Ao today. The Golden Man. Maybe make it to the Golden City? That'd be cool. Alright, get over here, Mr. Pingu. Alright, I'm going to get a prediction going right now. This prediction is going to be for how far the daily makes it. What? It was a misclick, I think. All right, this daily will be in ascending order. Option number 1 is the first biome. Option number 6 is completing the run. 7 and 8 are the one-off bets. Die to the World 3 boss or the large level on World 5. We're going to start the prediction right now. A 10-minute timer on this one. Good luck to all those that wager some of their channel points on the success, failure, or detriment of this run. We're going to hop over to kitty cam right here. There's no kitties, but maybe soon there will be. I don't know. Be back in just a minute for the Spelunky 2 daily first look. Before I stand up, also going to swap my title so I don't forget. All right, here we go. All right, we have returned no baby kitty, but that's okay. He was sleeping in the window. Didn't have the heart to move him. Let's get our penguin in the hole and other critter-related festivities going, and then we'll be into it. Time for some penguin into the hole. Where's this cricket at? There he is. Cricket to the moon. All right, now time for Penguin 180 turnaround chair sit down. Oh yeah. My man's all warmed up. Spelunky 2 daily begins right now. It's a pretty nice start, 6,500 in that first little bit. Wow, $8,000 opener. That's wild. The bank is open. What's this? I don't think there can be a ton shop on the first level. I think that's a thing. Nice. Oh, hey, there's more back here. I'm in. That was a pretty swell 1-1. Over 20 grand and the damsel. Oh yeah, now you're turkey stacking. Oh yeah. Oh. That looks like a pretty reasonable way around. Here's Tatertown. Can I get there? I can. In a minute, though. I don't believe this goes all the way through. Should not be a problem. All right. Just a little crunchy. Don't mind me, Yang. Drop this down. Ooh, look at that. I like these. I'll take one of everything, please. Have a nice day. Well, for everybody else that does the daily and watches the stream, we're going to Tatertown. Tatertown was a bust. I repeat, Tatertown was a bust. Just saw the dwelling there. Okay, there's the key. Almost seems worth bombing here. Where at, though? Right here. Unless there's a shrine down there, I'm probably just not going to rescue the damsel. And does not appear there is. All right, then. The snake came out of the urn that I threw at the mole there, is what happened. Boom, 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 boom. Good? Is good. Kind of feel like I'm going to take this one to Volcana. Let's do this right. Hey there, kitty. We're gonna go jungle here. Just taking a look. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. If I had green gloves, I'd go Volcana for sure, or maybe even Paste, but right now I don't have the stuff. GG. I did that to myself. I was off by a half tile. Congratulations, Dying Jungle Gang. That happened. Such is the way of the Lunkies. But there's some pretty sweet odds on that one. Congratulations, doubters. Well, all right, everybody, that's going to conclude our show today. Thanks for the awesome one. Clearly not my best day for playing video games, but I did have an awesome time with the time we spent together today. Fun runs of Brotato, some near victories on Generalist, some good chess puzzling, nice rating gain on that one, and a quick run of Spelunky, too. I think tomorrow is going to be a better day for gameplay, though I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Thanks for the great time, wonderful company, and awesome conversation here for day 26. Been an awesome set of streams over this holiday season. And as a reminder, we have a stream coming up every day this month through the 31st and then into our bonus time starting January 1st. Just have a great one, everybody. Thanks for the great time, wonderful company, and awesome conversation for today's stream. We'll do it again on the flip side. Looking forward to it already. Take her easy.